outside the doctor's office. I'm getting ready to go pay for our shared risk program IVF. So here we go. The lighting in here is terrible. Hold. I've been having a bit of anxiety about this morning. It's quite the bill to pay. The deed is done. I just paid $24,550. The shared risk program allows you to do up to 6 IVF cycles. If you don't take home a baby on the first one, then you can proceed to the second one without another payment. The risk in it comes because they only let people in that they think will be successful on the first try. Because obviously it costs more money than a regular IVF cycle. Like a lot, like $10,000 more than a regular IVF cycle. That's what we're doing though, because we've been through IVF once before and it didn't work. And we're taking the risk out. Oh, and the very, very good side is if you never get a baby out of 6 cycles, you get 100% refund on your money. They only let people into this program that they think will be successful because otherwise they wouldn't make any money, right? There's a pretty good chance that we could be having a baby soon. It's a little scary, a little nerve-wracking. Not having a baby, that's not nerve-wracking. Spending $25,000 to have a baby, that's the nerve-wracking part. It was like financing a car this morning, only a lot less paperwork. There was a contract yesterday. We're in it now. I had my baseline ultrasound. They said everything is looking really good. Everything's quiet. Nothing is producing anything, which is right where they want me to be at this stage in the cycle. They took blood work, which obviously we have to wait to get the results on, but if everything looks good, then we will start our meds on Friday, which I also paid another $12,000 for. $1,200 for. Whew, $12,000. Although they did say they were going to bill the insurance $10,000 for our medication, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Last time we did IVF, we had no coverage, and we had to pay $5,500 for our meds. The fact that they're billing our insurance $10,000 kind of makes me mad because we do have a benefit of $15,000 for fertility related items. I think that that's going to come out of that, so we just use 2/3 of our benefit on our meds because they are overcharging our insurance. Like, thanks for that, pharmacy company. And the reason we're not using that benefit towards IVF is because my husband and I decided to enroll in his insurance at the very last minute in his open enrollment because we found out that they had an insurance benefit, and the clinic that we're currently going to at the time was being bought out, so Shady Grove, before it was CU Advanced Reproductive Medicine. And when they were CU Advanced Reproductive Medicine, they accepted Cigna, who we enrolled with. And we called them and we were like, so what's the likelihood of you being in network still when you're Shady Grove? And they said, well, it's probably pretty decent, you know, all our other locations are in network with Cigna. So that's a good sign. We're like, okay, we're gonna roll the dice. We had to pay like $300 more a month than we were paying for our current insurance, for this insurance, so that we would have that benefit. But we decided that outweighed, you know, paying completely out of pocket. Fast forward 2 months, we decided to try IUI before we started IVF, which failed, which is why we're going on to IVF. So fast forward to my first IUI appointment, I walk in and they're like, oh, you're with Cigna? We're not in network. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? So now we're stuck on this insurance for a year and it doesn't even cover IVF. Luckily it covers meds. Our co-pays were $1,200 and the insurance is being billed $10,000 of the $15,000 benefit that we have. So next time we do it, if we have to do it again, we'll only have 5,000 left. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But whatever. We'll figure that out when that time comes. Hopefully we won't have to go through it. But we're hopeful that it will work on the first try. And I just really, really hope. They said they saw 40 small follicles today. So wouldn't it be great if they all developed? I know they won't, right? But wouldn't it be great if we got like 25 eggs and at least half of them were mature and at least half of those fertilized and at least half of those survived until day 5 and we had more than 1 embryo. I would be really happy if we got like 5 embryos because we are doing PGTA, so you'll lose some there. That's genetic testing. They're going to test to make sure that we have the correct amount of chromosomes. And if they don't have the correct amount of chromosomes, then we can't transfer them. If you have an embryo with more chromosomes, you're more likely to have issues with that. You're more likely to miscarry. I feel like I'm all over the place in this video and I apologize. We decided to go ahead and do the PGTA testing. And like I said, you're going to lose embryos in that stage. More than likely. They're more than likely not all going to be genetically normal. So if we had, ideally we'd have like 10 embryos, right? Going into testing. We might lose like half in testing. Then you freeze them and then you thaw them and they don't always survive the thaw. So that's why I would like a surplus of embryos. And my end goal is to have enough that we get 2 babies out of it. 1 baby now, and then maybe in 2 years or so, get another baby that's been on ice for 2 years and not have to go through IVF all the way again. Because honestly, I don't think we can afford it again. So, especially once we have a child, this is kind of the one shot. Like, if we end up with a baby, perfect. But if we end up with enough that we could have 2, that would be even better. We really want 2, but right now the goal is 1, right? The end goal is just 1 healthy baby to take home. And if that's all we ever get, then that's what we get and we'll be happy. I'm an only child. I was happy. Life was good. But I do want 2. It's funny, growing up I always wanted to just have 1 child because I loved being an only child, but I had a lot of cousins around because my dad was one of 8 and my mom was one of 3, so there were just a lot of cousins and I always felt like I had siblings by extension that I could have around whenever I wanted, pretty much, and they would come stay summers with us and weekends and then go away. And I got my parents back all to myself and I didn't have to share, and so I really didn't hate being an only child. So I always wanted just 1 child so that they could have the same experience. But I am an only child and my husband is one of 2, so there just aren't a lot of cousins around, unfortunately. And because it's taken us so darn long to have a child, a lot of the cousins that we both had a lot of cousins growing up, but a lot of our cousins who have had babies now have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds, you know? They're not going to be hanging out with our kids, unfortunately. I mean, it's just the way it is. I understand that, and, you know, a 12-year-old doesn't want to hang out with a baby. So, now I want 2. That's the moral of the story. Okay, my phone is telling me I recorded way too long, and so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. We'll keep you guys updated. Talk to you guys later. Bye.